The recording session that comprises this video turned out to be extremely cursed. My capture card cut out about twice, so if you see some crossfades later, that's why. And there was also a part where it turned out that my commentary track was recording the game audio instead of my voice. Fortunately, I noticed in about 10 minutes, so I had to go back in post and try and recreate my side of the conversation there as best I could. You'll know that part once it comes up. Also from this point, my sister's microphone started picking up some pretty nasty background static. I have tried as best I could to fix that in post, so hopefully you won't hear much of it. Anyway, the remaining parts of this case will not be this cursed, but for now, it's on to the last part before the first to be continued of case 3. So, welcome back. I'm not sure where this is going to go because it's actually been a little while since in fact, you can even see the date there. So, yeah, this was last recorded on the 31st of October 2011, and as of recording this, it's now the 6th of January 2022.
I can't believe it's been that long.
So it's been a while since we last recorded, this part of this case, and since then, I've actually played a bit of Smash Bros. With you, and I found out that you are a Sora main, which is kind of surprising.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm awful with Sora, but anyway, last we left things, it seems like that they collected 24 pence in bus fares, but it's 4 pence per person, and there were only 4 people riding.
This is why. Stay in maths class, people.
Yes.
Maths is important.
Exactly. I'm now being reminded of, there was a maths course in my university that was just called Maths in Society. It was just they wanted to make sure that everyone learned just a little bit of maths.
Mm.
So anyway, okay, Lord Van Dyke's case for the prosecution. So basically what just happened, I think we did the summation examination and we got the jurors to change their vote. And I believe we're going to be hearing more testimony from Fairplay because we found that he had a bit of a debt to McGilded.
Mm.
And so, wine glass time. Okay.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, he's pretty great. I think this tops it probably doesn't quite top Gotto's coffee, but I think it does top Francisca's whips for me.
So good. Such a waste of wine, though.
I just noticed that the wine bottle has 2 cross scythes to fit sort of with the Grim Reaper thing.
Yeah, nice. All the details. It just seemed a bit wasteful, dude.
However, having that much time to not speak means you have that much longer to think about what your next argument will be.
And also, probably not a great idea to insult your jury.
Yes,
either.
exactly.
They do say that wisdom comes from those who speak last, because as you say, they take time to reflect.
And we've got Van Zykes' theme playing as well, which is pretty cool.
I just had the Super Smash Bros. Voice in my head saying round 2!
And the cloak comes off.
Hey.
It reminds me of a bit, you wouldn't know this, but one of the big bad of Street Fighter, M. Bison, at the start of a match, he throws his cloak off.
Nice.
Kind of reminds me of that. That's another Capcom game, so maybe the reference was intentional. Endure. Yes, perjury. That's crime that always is followed up on an Ace Attorney and definitely is not ignored.
Yep. Yep.
Another testimony then.
This will also be a good refresher for us. It's been a while
Yes.
since we recorded.
Various misgivings.
Oh, dude, not that convincing. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, he did. He did. I think so. Yes, he did.
Yeah, so like this testimony seems like it's kind of got two topics. It's was there a fifth passenger and like the issue with the fares in general, and then I saw McGildas stab him.
Yeah. Should actually know that word.
Yes, you cannot do that theme park world thing of raising the prices while somebody's in the bus and then saying, "Oh, sorry, actually it's 5 pence."
Exactly. Oh. There you go, cousinage, the practice of deception or trickery. Ah, that's a great word.
Yeah, I've never heard it before. Also, I
Neither
just
have I.
realized this guy's moustache is a horseshoe.
Oh, that makes sense. That's awesome.
For some reason I just had this voice with this
Oh.
guy in my head for a second. "If I may, sir, I had to pay 10 pence on the bus just last week." I don't know, that's just kind of how I heard it in my head.
So good. Mass is mess.
Oh no, don't go back into nervous eyes now.
You can do this, you can do this.
Okay, so I think as normal, I think we're just gonna press everything.
Yeah, that's good.
Hold it! Yeah, if there were 4 passengers and they each paid 1 extra, that would be 4
Exactly.
more pence, yeah.
Yep. 4 times 5 is 20. Oh. Still extortion.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that easy. I mean, it definitely feels like there's somewhere a 5th passenger could hide, but... Hold it!
I just realised I don't think that is extortion. I think extortion, you have to obtain something through like threats or force. That's just dishonesty. Yeah. Poor man, though. feel like if I got the last fare of the day in London, it was freezing and the coachman was sitting out in the cold, I'd probably give him an extra pence.
Yep. Yeah, so now we're on to this.
There we go.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Hold it!
So I think we probably have to look at the angles and the coach, don't we?
Maybe, yeah.
What's an ice pick grip again? Oh.
Yeah, he couldn't have seen much from where he was. So that's what Lady first saw. So only one out of the three actually saw the moment, or claims to.
Claims to.
Struth!
Oh.
Interesting.
Struth! That was great.
So that's the the Australianism there. So
good.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna pursue this.
Excuse me.
And for non-Australians out there, struth is an expression of surprise or dismay. But I think that was kind of obvious from context.
Some days are like that. Yeah, so, I feel like I'm gonna let you choose what to do in most of these from now on, because I felt kind of bad for not letting you do that at the start of this case, but
all good. I was just thinking of, my mind was on a tangent of what the original Japanese was, for some days are like that. It's an interesting translation.
Yeah.
No chance.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, he was on top of the thing. He just happened to look down at the exact time. And yeah, Ballarat is, I believe, now this is terrible, I believe that's
Country town in Victoria.
Victoria,
so just, If people, non-Australians, know Melbourne, so Melbourne is the main city in Victoria, and Ballarat is the country town outside.
Ballarat, I believe, started out as a gold rush, like a mining town, I think, or at least it got pretty big during that time.
That's my understanding too, yeah. There you go, Melbourne to Ballarat is an hour and a half by car.
Okay. Aha, he is adding something to his testimony. That usually is significant. Blood-soaked hands. Interesting.
Okay.
Let me just check the evidence for a second there.
Gloves?
Gloves, that might be it.
Hang on. These ones belong to the gloves, they belong to the defendant. Yeah, cool. So, let's get inside the
yeah. And there is blood on them. There's a blood stain on the right glove.
Wouldn't call it blood soaked though, especially because it's only on the inside. So you can't really tell from the outside of the gloves.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, okay. That might be the way to go.
Objection.
I mean, we could press that for more, but I feel like that's the thing we have to hit on here. That's a good pose, though.
That's great. I'm really tempted to voice act that guy that like fit in a thicker Australian accent, but I feel a bit embarrassed because my Australian accent is more of the subtler kind.
Yeah,
I'm not so good at the
I can
more
try
intense.
I can try it. You've voice acted very thick British males before though with Field Marshal Haig.
I did have to do that in drama a lot. Yes, many. For people who don't know, I went to a girls' high school, so I was able to play a lot of male parts, which was quite fun, and often British for some reason.
Well, this is just reminding me of like, well, that's completely impossible because I wore a glove. Oh.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, that can't be healthy. And that was the music.
And this guy is the one strong link in this testimony, so if his is inconsistent... I still am very creeped out by this guy. Except apparently he's just a barber.
That Sweeney Todd was just a barber.
Objection.
Yeah, that is true. But all over, yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting question about, humans in general. We tend to tell stories and sometimes misremember things, and, there's that margin of human error, and also when you're on the stand, kind of blowing things up, but there's also then the territory of deliberately misleading, and...
Yeah.
So you have to find that line. I'm a gentleman, not some gutter snipe. The term gutter snipe is interesting, isn't it? I wonder where that comes from. It just reminds me of My Fair Lady. Do people know that musical?
Oh, I believe we did have some evidence of this reason. I wonder if this is where we have to bring this up. Yeah, I think I know what we have to bring up here. This is why you examine your evidence thoroughly. Witnesses alleged deception of the court. I believe it would be this debtor's... Yeah.
Yeah.
Take that!
Oh, just interestingly, Shakespeare used the term snipe to mean a disreputable person. So gutter snipe, disreputable person from the gutter. I think that's kind of where it came from. Interesting.
Okay, yes.
Apparently Mark Twain also referred to it in 1869. There, language is interesting.
I was thinking about this list of debtors though, and this is a complete in-joke that only we're gonna get, but it's like, I was just thinking in my head, it's a shame that McGilded isn't Scottish, because otherwise he could go up to people going, "Oh no, you're out of money! So quick, take out a loan!" Sorry for the Scottish accent.
I hope some people out there will get that reference, that's amazing. Also, can I just point out, I love the fact the Australian guy's called Bruce.
Yeah, that I'm pretty sure is deliberate.
So good. I think pointing out as well that the actual name Bruce is a first name. Is it that popular in Australia?
No, it's
Hasn't
not
been
yet.
for a while,
but I think it's a Monty Python reference. There's a Monty Python
Yeah.
sketch about it, so I think that's because this, again, like the localizers love Monty Python references for this.
And to be fair, I think Bruce was a lot more common as a male first name around that time in Australia. It's more as a modern name, it's fallen out of fashion a bit. Like Bruce and Sheila. Your debt will be gone.
Yeah, this is kind of interesting where somebody has a motive for getting the defendant convicted, like, besides, like, I mean, we don't know, like, for all we know, this guy could have been the actual killer, but, like, at the moment we're suggesting that he might not be, but he has a different motive to wanting the defendant found guilty, and I like this. I kind of wish they'd do this a bit more.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Like, a reason to kind of frame the defendant besides, you being the real killer.
Exactly.
There's quite a lot of that, I think, in Agatha Christie and a lot of those mysteries where someone had a grudge against somebody or, maybe was a yandere who, likes that person's wife or something and wanted them to be found guilty of murder.
And it makes for a more complex and compelling mystery when multiple people sort of have a reason.
Yeah. That's one thing that I think about when it comes to mystery writing. I feel like one of the key aspects is making sure that everyone who lies has a plausible reason for it.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
Yeah. Because I saw a guy, I saw like one guide to writing on that was saying like, in a real investigation, people wouldn't just act suspicious just to give the murderer a sporting chance.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's why many of those mysteries have, basically everyone has some kind of dark secret that they want to hide.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense from a literary point of view, I guess. Oh, that's a nice line. Your silence speaks volumes. Now let's not make a melodrama out of this.
Objection!
Yeah, unless one of the gloves got swapped out somehow.
Or he didn't wear gloves originally and had the blood on his hands and then popped the gloves on later.
And also who says these are the defendant's gloves? Like,
exactly. Or who says they were the defendant's hands? Because I guess one other option is he saw someone else's hands covered in blood and the defendant, with his gloves, went to press the wound to stop him bleeding out.
that could have been the case.
Which makes more sense with the bloodstain only being on the right.
I just realised, though, the voice I had in my head for Mr. First, it's kind of Baldric. Not quite Baldric, but it kind of is.
Yeah.
From Blackadder, for those who don't know.
Yes, apologies, we do make a lot of references to various things. Ah,
There's
interesting.
a lot of uncertainty in these witnesses, though.
Yes, good on you, Judge. Any more detail now?
Ah, yes, but we all know, and when it comes to turnabout, you know,
Yeah.
things tend
Get worse before they get better.
Yes. What the witnesses really saw. I thought it would be the Allegro theme for this. That's a new pose, I think. However, I suppose you might see that I didn't see the exact moment of the stabbing transpired, if that matters.
That was great. I feel like that's going to be the one. Based on the perception of where they were sitting looking through the window and what they could see in the coach. Oh, yeah, filling in the gaps is not particularly appropriate for a customer.
It's always the thing with these. Often the prosecution has a very solid foundation that they can always keep coming back to, even if you discredit witnesses or have alternate theories.
Because on face value, there were only two people on the coach, the defendant and the victim. AKA, he's the only one that could have done it. Like, if you just keep bringing it back to that, it's very straightforward, but then it's about...
I kind of wanted to check the omnibus again. And just see if we can go inside. I kind of wonder if there's any compartments under the seats or anything like that. Like, yeah. One of them has a handle, the other doesn't. Like, do you mind me examining this?
Yeah, let's do it, yeah. Cool. I thought it might be storage for luggage, but that makes sense too. Yeah.
It's like maybe someone could fit in there if they were a contortionist.
We're back to the contortionist idea from case 2. Someone being in that truck. Yeah, murder mysteries is so interesting because sometimes you know, like there's all these crazy scenarios that it's like, oh, this could happen if someone had this particular set of skills, which is not impossible, but in real life is unlikely, but in a murder mystery it can sometimes turn out to be true.
Is there anything new with this bloodstain?
What's that in the window there? Oh, that's just
I think that's just the
oh,
light,
yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
And then I think we've already examined the top a little bit.
Yeah, is there a way to look into the skylight from the top? We did that. Yeah, we did that before, didn't we? Because that's the thing. You can see the seat where the victim was with the blood, and you can see whoever would have sat next to them. But if someone was sitting opposite them,
Yeah, that's what I was
thinking. You
thinking.
can't see who's below you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. See, it kind of looks like there's a latch on the skylight, like there, but I don't think you can examine that specifically, yeah.
Yeah. Probably just for opening and closing.
And yes, that reference.
Sure.
I wonder if 418 is a reference to anything in particular. I guess we can use
Case 4.
Hold it!
Line 18. It's a conspiracy. We have to go look at the line. I don't know.
Yeah, and if he had blood on both his hands before he put on those gloves, then the insides of the gloves would have blood all over them. Yeah, he must have very clearly seen somebody with blood all over their hands, I feel. Like, that's just my theory right now.
Especially because the other guy's corroborating it as well.
Dripped guiltily.
Sounds like a great fanfiction description. The blood dripped guiltily from his hand.
Hold it!
I also love the detail of the silhouettes in the background all wearing hats. Ah, those races.
Oh no, this
Oh, no.
logic. Gambler's
no.
fallacy. Aren't you the kind of people who shouldn't be doing that kind of thing?
Hold it!
Yeah, I feel like that's important.
On the side, yeah. Oh. Huh.
Ah,
Oh gosh.
this is all incredibly weird. It's like there are two alternate universes going on right now.
The case of the baffling blood.
Hold it!
Yeah, well, technically he didn't see nothing, but that's not how it works.
Yeah. Oh. Oh. He needs some warmer clothes. I should say I've never been to London myself, but I do understand it can get incredibly cold.
Yeah, the weird thing is when I went, like, I prepared for it being really cold, and it actually wasn't.
I do wonder. Yes, exactly right. Thank you, Judge. Exactly what I was gonna ask. Oh. Oh, that's interesting.
That's the first we're hearing of this. That's really important. Yeah, you brought up a good point. Like, if it was a cold night, why would they be on the top, like, be on
Exactly.
the outside?
Mm. Oh wow. Well, that also makes exactly. That's also why it makes more sense that he was looking through it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, wait,
Oh,
no,
whoops,
I
oops.
advanced the text too fast. Yeah. But no, I think we were onto something.
Yeah,
Yeah, we might have to repress that, yeah.
Yep.
I think, yeah, you were onto something before about the fact that you can't see half of the inside of the omnibus, yeah.
Exactly.
Yep, it's all about the skylight. So this is where I lost my side of the commentary, so I am going to have to go through this and attempt to recreate what I think I was saying based on my sister's side of the conversation. So, yeah, let's go. Basically, we've got to the end of the testimony here, and we have to go and just go back to that line, so we'll skip to that.
Yeah, I think let's go back to the dialogue choice. It's not quite as bad as, did you get all that? Press A for no! So then if you're just mashing A, you must repeat everything.
I feel like that actually does happen in Ace Attorney at least one point.
Haha, pun on his name. Very nice. Alright, here we go.
Yeah, I don't think they could.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier, the question of exactly how much of the crime could they have actually seen. I love this music too. This music's great. Another person.
Objection!
Hypothetical meandering.
Yeah, that's a pretty good line.
It is pretty cool to have the crime scene right there.
Yeah, that's, yeah, definitely really cool. I still think this case was maybe conceptualized with that gimmick in mind. So, looking at the cross-section here... Where is the blind spot? So, yeah, basically, they're sitting up the top there in one of those two seats.
Exactly, but they can't see the seat right below them. Unless they were sitting in the front seats on the roof and they were looking behind them through the skylight, but I can't remember if they clarified that or not, but I assume they were facing forward in the direction that they were going.
Yeah, I think they were facing forward.
Yep, I think so too.
So yeah, we should choose
Oh,
that.
nice take that.
Yeah, I love all the voice clips of the characters in this game. Yeah, so this right here reminds me of a lot of like the kind of things that you'd see in science classes.
That rings a bell.
I don't know why, like just the way they'd measure angles and fields of vision, these kind of diagrams. I remember often seeing things like this in science classes.
Did we talk to the defendant about what he remembers? Because obviously the defendant should know if there was someone else in there with them. That's the issue.
Yeah, I don't think we've heard that directly. He claims to have been asleep, for one.
Oof.
And yet more casual racism.
Rejoinder.
Yeah, I haven't really heard that word before. Let me see if I can look it up.
Oh, have to be specific.
A reply, especially a sharp or witty one. So, I guess we've got to present a profile here soon. I have an inkling. Just makes me think of Splatoon, though.
Who are the profiles we currently have in the court record?
Okay, if we go into the profiles then... Yeah, we've got Susato, Strongheart, McGilded, we have the Prosecution 2...
Unless we say our defendant was the one sitting opposite. Unless we say Magnus was sitting opposite. And then they actually saw whoever was sitting next to the guy. Yeah, maybe that's what we do.
That could make sense. So yeah, I am letting her take the lead for a lot of these choices, because I feel like I was just going a little bit too hasty in that angle in the earlier parts. Also, have I mentioned before that his wine thing has sights on it? Yes, what we're talking about here is where the blood was.
From memory, it is on the correct seat that's in the line of sight of the skylight, because it's on the... To go in, it's on the left? Yeah. The victim was there, so I guess we'd be arguing that Magnus was sitting here, and someone else was sitting next to him, possibly?
I guess so, yeah.
And maybe someone had drugged Magnus or knocked him out or something. Or he was asleep.
Yeah, because they'd be able to see where the victim is, but... And I love that face slap, but if Magnus was sitting in their blind spot...
Could be totally wrong, that was just my idea.
Okay, well, let's see if you're right.
That's what I was thinking. I don't really think you can do anything else.
And the music stopped, so that pretty much reveals it, usually. I do like these moments in Ace Attorney games where you have to point out some kind of alternate possibility about the crime scene. And there's the wine throw.
Ah, amazing.
Yeah, Van Zykes is, yeah, he's pretty composed most of the time, but when he loses his composure, he gets similar to earlier
Can you stop
prosecutors.
being racist, please?
And, yeah, that too. Yeah, he should just stop. Yeah, that's even worse.
You can't see their heads.
Exactly. And it says that their faces were both covered with very tall hats. Yeah, so that premises, I was talking about this much earlier, that whole thing of like, either the witness's statement is wrong, the evidence is wrong, or there is something wrong with the core assumptions of the case itself. Now, this is interesting, though.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Objection!
Deliberation.
Objection!
What if they're both true?
Yeah, those are the reveals in Ace Attorney that I really like, when it turns out that there's something in the evidence and something the witnesses say, and it turns out they're both true. Yeah, because if they're both this adamant about seeing blood on both hands, it means they're probably telling the truth. So that's the question. Whose hands did they see exactly?
Objection!
The real killer, identity to be determined.
Like Anon Emus TBD from Spirit of Justice.
What do I say?
Objection!
So, yes, very soon we're going to go back to my live commentary, because this segment, this is about when I realized that my commentary was not recording properly. So, back to live commentary me. Certainly hazard.
Oh. The style of hat makes no difference. I bet we'll find out the style of hat is in fact crucial. Yeah, that was what I was thinking. Again, unless he was drugged or knocked out somehow. We're gonna call him to the stand now, maybe? Ask him.
Don't you have an airtight case? I mean, wouldn't you think this wouldn't make a difference? Oh, okay. You just want to get the full statement.
From memory, I know it's been a while since we started this case, but didn't he seem kind of weirdly relaxed about not having proper defense and
Yeah.
like kind of oddly okay with
Yeah.
being accused? It was
Like, unless there was someone else in there and he's not at liberty to speak about it because, I don't know, there's some kind of blackmail or something else.
But then is he willing to die for that? Like
Yeah. So, I mean, what do you think here?
Leave Will alone. Again, I like that phrase, but no, I demand his testimony. Yeah. Because it's easy to make a statement and rehearse it if you're lying, but if you're on the stand in the moment and you try to lie, it's much easier to pick up on cues. Hmm. Yeah, the very first juror is a wee bit suspicious, isn't he?
Instead of let the parrots take the stand, it's let the defendants take the stand. And is this going to be a to be continued? I feel like it is. Oh, maybe not.
Oh. There we go. Straight back in. Oh, I can hear his voice in my head. I can't do an Irish accent properly, so I don't want to try. Hey. Oh no, is it like a kid? My guess is a child stowed away in the compartment under the seat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Objection!
What's happening?
Well, I guess maybe this is going to be the to be continued.
That would make sense.
There we
go. Maybe that's why Magnus seemed weirdly blasé about stuff.
Suddenly smoke. So
Interesting.
yeah, that was an interesting way to end the first, I'm assuming, half of the trial. But yeah, getting to hear, I suppose, Magnus's testimony next, and you were right about the angle they could view in through the Omniverse. So I guess next time we might find out just who that urchin was.